Greetings, loved ones. Today we're going to ask the big question. Will my abuser kill me? Did you know that there are signs that can indicate whether violence can turn deadly? Help us get these messages out. Subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit the like button and the notification bell and share these messages with others because you never know. By doing so, you could save a life. It doesn't matter if a survivor has endured an abusive partner for 2 dates or 2 decades. Abusers have the possibility of escalating power and control into extreme violence, even murder, at any point. That's the tricky thing about abusive partners. Their behavior can come across as caring and even sweet at first. They love you so much that they can never let you out of their sight, and before you know it, you're being isolated from everyone in your life but them. You're being mentally and sometimes physically abused, and you're held hostage by their cunning tactics of control. No person intends to falling victim to abuse, but 1 in 3 women and 1 in 9 men are victims of sexual violence and abuse by a partner in their lifetime. And perhaps more staggering, homicide is one of the leading causes of death for women under age 44. And nearly half of those women and girls murdered are killed by a former or current intimate partner. If you or someone you know is currently with an abusive partner, taking this statistic as a warning could save your or their life. There are signs that abuse could be turning lethal. Let's talk about that right now. There are several indicators that experts agree can mean that violence is escalating to a lethal level, but the most accurate indicator is a survivor's perception of her own danger level. According to Turning Point, a domestic violence advocacy group and shelter in Michigan, they say that the woman is very afraid and says that she will be killed or may be killed, then the possibility of life-threatening violence is present. The nonprofit lists the following characteristics as being lethality indicators. That's an interesting word, lethality indicators in an abusive partner. So these are the indicators that could mean that your partner may kill you. Perceived loss of control over the victim through separation, divorce, or the victim leaving. Extreme jealousy, an escalation of abuse, abuse that occurs in a public place, and usually they do it behind closed doors, but when they're doing it in the public, they don't care anymore. Suicide or homicidal threats and plans to carry out either. Access to a weapon, especially a gun, remember, 500 times more likely to die if there's a gun in the house. Stalking, history of mental health problems, substance abuse, a history of sexual abuse of the partner who is violent with you. And, you know, just because they've been sexually abused or just because they are abusing substances does not actually mean that they will be lethal to you. I mean, these are things that we need to think about, and I want you to listen to all of this. So let's see what the next point is. Violation of a protection order. So the history of sexual abuse of the victim or the children. So if they've abused the victim and they've abused the children in the home, then that is a lethality indicator. Unfortunately, statistics show that 75% of serious injuries in domestic violence cases occur after the victim has decided to end the relationship. In June of 2013, Maria Flores of Las Vegas, she was shot and killed by her abusive boyfriend, a man who Flores told a friend she was going to leave. The man also shot and killed her 17-year-old daughter and shot and wounded her 4-year-old daughter. Besides the one friend who knew of Flores' plan to leave, the victim never told anyone about the abuse. In other words, reaching out for help before you leave could mean the difference between life and death. So if you're planning to leave an abusive partner, creating a safety plan first is vital. In a study of the Texas Council of Family Violence, researchers found that of the 21 women murdered in Dallas County by intimate partners in 2013, no one, not one, was found to have reached out to a service provider for help. So it is best to create a safety plan with the help of a trained domestic violence advocate in your area. Decide when the safest time is to leave and where you will go, arrange a safe place to stay. An advocate, they can assist you in finding temporary shelter, and they can help set up arrangements for you ahead of time. So if you're trying to stay with a friend or a family, remember, try to choose someone who your abuser doesn't know or a location he or she can't find. Plan how you will safely get your children out of the house with you. All of this planning could save your life. So the next thing to do would be to prepare an emergency bag that includes not only extra clothes, but also birth certificates, passports, social security cards, court documents, health insurance information, spare house and car keys, medications that you will need, and some cash, because remember, an abuser will be able to track you through your credit card. You want to see if you can store that bag at a friend's house so that your abuser will not find it. And remember, if at any time you feel in imminent danger, dial 911 without hesitation. With 1 in 3 women experiencing domestic violence worldwide, the question is not if you will encounter a victim of violence. The question before God is, what will you do when you do encounter them? You could actually be someone who saves a life. You're called. We are all called to be champions for justice, and those who suffer violence, they need to know that those who love them and those who don't even know them will step out and reach out to them to give them the help and the courage they need to leave before it's too late. Help us get these messages out. Please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Share these messages with others. You never know, just by doing so, you could save a life. If you're a victim of violence, and I always end my program with this, I want you to listen to me because you have been told so many lies over so much time. I want you to know that you are valued. You are loved. You are intelligent. You are beautiful. And God does not want you to suffer violence. He wants you to live free from violence in peace and tranquility. There is a way out, and it's not your fault. Abuse is not love. If you're a victim of violence, reach out to someone now. If you find yourself in a dangerous situation, dial 911. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about how your risk of being killed by your abuser increases if there is a weapon in the house. Until then, God bless you.